Clay is going to introduce you to a relationship tool that can help avoid these situations. A tool that encourages us to stop texting, vexing with an F, or fighting over text, and instead have those tough conversations in person, where understanding and connection can thrive. Through this presentation, he will show you not only the damage that texting can cause, but also how to respond when you receive an emotionally charged message from the one you love. Please help me welcome Clay with his speech entitled Talk Over Text.
Good morning, good morning. Who likes card games? Oh yeah, wow, a lot of people. What's your favorite game?
Laptop.
My kid likes that one, Greg. Any other good ones? Hearts. Ooh, hearts. I like spades. That's a good one.
Rummy.
Gin rummy. Heck yeah. Counting that on what Becky said a couple weeks ago, she said 55% of communication is our body language. 38% of communication is in the tone that we use. Only 7% of communication is the actual words. When we choose to have an argument or a fight just through a texting platform, our person's only seeing 7% of what we're trying to communicate. Not sure if you're good with math. I had to do the third grade twice. You might want to check it. But 7% of 52 cards, only like 7.5 cards. When we communicate, we're basically just kind of throwing the rest out of the thing and just working with these 7. That's why it's advisable not to communicate emotionally charged topics over text message. And that's known as vexing. So today I want to talk to you about what is vexing, why we tend to choose this method of communication, the problem in this style, and finally, how you can avoid it altogether. So what is vexing? Well, unfortunately, Google doesn't have a word for it, not an actual word. But in the last year or so, it's been more popular as far as like relationship movies. I've kind of seen a couple shows mentioning it. And basically, like Greg said, it's just fighting over a text message, choosing the text message platform to argue. Now, how do you know when you're just talking, hey, hon, can you pick up an extra gallon of milk at the store, or are we on for coffee on Friday, and arguing over text message? Basically, it's being aware of how you're feeling. If you experience negative emotions and it's starting to make you mad, cause some depression, upset, that's when you know sexting is on the rise. So why do we choose to do this? I mean, why is it easier to text over just having a face-to-face? Well, it's comfortable. I can tell you whatever I want, and I don't have your facial expressions to give me that feedback that I need, that what I'm saying is actually hurting your feelings. It's easy. I could just pick up the phone, click your name, show you, the depths of my heart and complain, put it all out there, and press send, and I'm done. Convenient. It's fast. It's a cop-out. Choosing to communicate emotionally charged topics, I call them testy topics, like finances, sex and intimacy, family or parenting, or boundaries with your partner's significant other. Those type of topics that can potentially cause an argument, we don't use the texting platform to communicate that. Here's why. It's hurtful. Like I said, you're only using 7% of your communication. You may have put your heart and soul in a text message. The person only reads the word. So miscommunication is bound to happen, right? There's no body language. There's no feedback. There's no tone of voice. You could be texting and really just putting your heart out there out of a place of genuineness, and your partner reads sarcasm. They read blame, criticism. And once those emotions elevate, our blood flow from the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that separates us from the monkeys, goes to the back part of the brain. That's the fight or flight. So we're going to interpret everything as a bear chasing us. We're either going to fight back or we're going to flee. In the case of texting, it's easy to fight back. But you're, okay, fine. You know what? You did it too. Blaming, criticizing. Well, what did you do? What did you say? This is not an effective way to communicate our wants and needs. So, as I conclude, how can you avoid this sexting? Is by stopping it in its tracks. They say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I would encourage all of you to sit down with your significant other and just say, oh, hey, by the way, let's communicate differently. If there's an emotionally charged topic, how about we just have a face-to-face instead of over text message or email? Does that sound good? But what if old habits prevent? And you're starting to get upset, those emotions are starting to rise, you feel blame or criticism from your partner. Stop it in its tracks. Hey, I would love to address this. Now's not a good time. Could we talk about it later? Ooh, this is a great way. I'd love to catch up on that budget. How about we do it after we put the kids to bed? Don't fall in the trap of finding yourself starting this whole big argument over text message. So that's something we can all incorporate in our relationships. Let us do it. Thank you, fellas.
Let's hope our speaker there gets his cards up. Take a card.
I like that game, 52 card pickup.
That's the game on it. There.
So let's go from texting to texting and one-on-one conversation. Okay, our next speaker is Lisa.